Good evening to you. A former fire chief from Dorset, wrongly accused of sexually abusing a boy 40 years ago, says the ordeal has left his life in tatters. David Bryant, who was recognised for his bravery for the work he did for the fire brigade, spent 2.5 years in jail for a crime he didn't commit, as Kerry Swain now reports.
Throughout his 2.5 years in prison, David Bryant's wife Lynn fought for his freedom. 2 weeks ago, 7 months after celebrating his release outside the Court of Appeal, his wife of 32 years died suddenly of sepsis. She was only 54.
She was determined that we were going to get this certificate of innocence. And that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do it for her.
David Bryant was a firefighter for 40 years, received a commendation for bravery, a station commander when he retired.
That's the freedom of the barrow certificate.
It was at Christchurch Fire Station that a man now in his 50s said he was abused on a single unspecified date between 1976 and 78. When David Bryant was convicted and sentenced, his accuser's medical records had not been checked. Later investigations revealed him to be a chronic liar. Quashing Mr. Bryant's conviction, the appeal court judge told him, "You are free to go. I am very sorry." How afraid are you that, mud sticks, if you like, and that some people will always consider you to be guilty?
I don't think there's a lot I can do about that. There will always be people that have an opposite opinion. I just have to live my life the way I want to, yeah. And my friends know the truth. The first day I was released, I walked down through the town and it took me ages because everybody was coming up and saying, "Glad to see you out," yeah.
People would stop me and say, "Hi Lynn, how are you? What are you doing to get David out?" And support was 100% from day one, and that's kept me going, certainly.
This was David and Lynn Bryant speaking on ITV's This Morning. He's determined to continue her fight to legally clear his name, but needs Dorset Police to hand over trial documents. You know you're innocent, and your friends and your people who love you know you're innocent. Why put yourself through this for a piece of paper?
Because I've got to do it for Lynn. That was what kept her going, battling away for this. So I've got to carry on the fight, because you wouldn't like it if I dropped it.
The Crown Prosecution Service said following the conviction, new evidence came to light which undermined the prosecution case, and the CPS did not oppose the appeal. Kerry Swain, ITV News.
In other news, rail passengers will face another day of strikes in the ongoing dispute between Southern Rail and the RMT union. The union has confirmed guards and drivers will strike on the 13th of March, starting at 1 minute past midnight. And Go Ahead, the group behind Southern Rail, has issued a profits warning and apologised to passengers after strikes bedevilled the company for long periods last year. Its shares fell by 15%. A 3-year-old boy who was left paralysed after contracting a rare virus has finally returned home thanks to the help of his local community. Archie Adams from Southampton spent 18 months in hospital with his parents at his side, but now they've moved into a purpose-built home, as Mary Stanley reports.
Big smiles to be back home and back with all his family. 3-year-old Archie Adams has spent the last 18 months in hospital, battling a devastating virus. While his parents lived in hospital accommodation, his 2 brothers were cared for by family. Now they're back together in a specially adapted home in Southampton.
Archie now has his own bedroom and bathroom downstairs. All doors are wheelchair friendly. We have hoists in the ceiling. So Archie can be with the whole family all the time. We've had some amazing people out there who have all donated their time.
Building materials.
Yeah, just to get us home.
Archie was taken ill after a visit to the park in 2015. He stopped breathing and spent days in intensive care as doctors battled to save his life. He'd contracted a rare virus called transverse myelitis, which damaged his spine, leaving him paralysed from the neck down. He now has a pacemaker and is on a ventilator.
Early days were hard because we didn't know if he was going to make it or not. But then as the time went on, it's a different kind of hardness because you've got to learn to adapt and to look after Archie, because we're not nurses. I'm just a mum.
And how is he doing?
He's doing really well. He has a little voice which he's trying to say some words, and he's such a happy child.
His family's story touched the heart of the community. with many builders and tradesmen working on the home for free and thousands being raised by donations, grants and special events.
My children are very healthy, and I look upon this and think, well, actually, you know, there but for the grace of God go I, effectively. It's been an amazing thing to be involved with.
It's quite intensified, but yeah, we got there. We got there and Archie's in. He's touched all our hearts and we're glad to give a bit back.
All the electrics were done for nothing. All the decorating was done, painting, all the plastering, all the dry lining, all the chippy work, all the flooring. No one complained about, you know, they had to give up their money or whatever. And that's the good thing about it. Everybody had a heart.
Archie now attends a special school in Southampton. His parents have been told he may never walk again, but they refuse to give up. And the love and kindness of strangers in bringing their family back together gives them hope. Mary Stanley, ITV News, Southampton.
Lovely family. In other news, a fire's badly damaged a restaurant and bar at Thornham Marina near Emsworth. It took more than 3 hours to bring the blaze under control. No one was injured and investigation is underway. Abbotsbury Swanery in Dorset is now clear of bird flu after swans tested positive in January. DEFRA has given the company the all clear after 9 of the birds had the strain. Over the winter, 80 swans died at Abbotsbury, double the usual number. Well, it's Shrove Tuesday, of course, and in homes across the country, frying pans have been busy flipping pancakes. It's also meant the return of an annual event, the Pancake Races. Phil Hornby now reports.
3, 2, 1, go!
The chaos that is the annual charity race between Lords, media and MPs, captained this year by the Minister for Sport.
You're the sports minister, you talk a lot about integrity in sport. I mean, over the years I've seen an awful lot of cheating, mostly by the MPs at this event.
Well, I don't think you will see any cheating from the Commons team today.
We'll see.
We will see.
And needless to say, almost straight away, our camera caught illegal use of the left hand by Tim Lawton, the MP for East Worthing and Shoreham. Much better behaviour elsewhere. This was Wimborne in Dorset.
It is a very popular little event, incorporating all sorts of things from dogs to wheelchairs, from toddlers to adults.
It was good fun. It was a good experience for the dogs and everyone really enjoyed it.
And they didn't try and eat the pancakes?
No. Well, little May did try once, but no, she was great.
They were running in Reading town centre today, and it looked like they'd nicked their pancakes in Newbury. Back at Westminster, a convincing win for the MPs.
We are the champions! As Sports Minister, we've demonstrated that physical activity, even by being a complete tosser, is absolutely fantastic for your health.
Not everyone agreed.
Yeah, I've done a hamstring. It was very competitive.
It was, he said, flipping painful. Phil Hornby, ITV News, Westminster.
Good to see our MPs keeping busy and continuing the sporting theme. 3 matches tonight involving our teams. The biggest clash of the night at the Amex saw Brighton lose 2-1 to Newcastle. Albion took the lead in the 10th minute through a Glenn Murray penalty, but conceded late goals from Diame and Perez. Brighton back to second place. Meanwhile, in League 2, Crawley lost 2-1 to promotion-chasing Exeter, and promotion-chasing Portsmouth dropped priceless points in a 1-1 home draw with Morecambe. Let's hope for a winning weather forecast now from Simon Parkin.
From sleet to the slopes, driving through Europe, Eurotunnel the Shuttle sponsors ITV Meridian weather.
Good evening. Well, if you've been doing a bit of rainbow spotting this last couple of days, you'll be pleased to know the showery conditions we've had to put up with are coming to an end. For tomorrow, it's actual proper rain that's going to arrive, although on the plus side, it will be mostly light and patchy, but it's going to be windy into the bargain. Basically, we've got this weather front sitting down to the south. It's going to nudge in first thing tomorrow, and as I say, it's going to bring some rain with it, but once it clears off later in the day, we get a ridge of high pressure, so Thursday is looking like a much drier day, albeit fairly cloudy and still quite breezy. Speaking of which, it's breezy and cloudy and we got showers for now. They're clearing away though. Through the early hours things turn drier, clear spells. The winds stay relatively strong. That should mean frost shouldn't be too much of a problem. Temperatures though down to around 2 or 3 degrees. So first thing tomorrow morning, bit nippy. If you're up very early there'll be a bit of brightness, but then the cloud thickens up and then we'll see that rain push in by around 9-10 o'clock. As I say, mostly light and patchy that rain, but some heavier bursts as we head into the afternoon. Perhaps a drier spell developing towards the south before the day is done. Temperatures still disappointing, 7 or 8 degrees, and watch out for gale force gusts along the coast.
Eurotunnel the Shuttle sponsors ITV Meridian weather.
We're back during Good Morning Britain from 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, but for now from the late team it is good night, sleep well, join us again soon. Bye-bye.